can duplicate us. DJ Jules.
CP3, live from not the lab, at the bar radio, coming from a different location. Got a little echo, let me fix that for you. That was my bad. We always got some technical things going on. But it's week 2, NFL football season, Sports OTHP pregame show like we do. If you tuned in last year, we do a pregame and a postgame every week, week in and week out. I got another show later on today, so might not be a post game today, but we definitely going to break it down tomorrow night on Sports on the Hill podcast on True Radio Network. Coming to you starting at 7 o'clock. We cover baseball, then we cover the NBA roundtable. 8 o'clock hour, we talk Washington football team. 8:30, we talk NHL and anything else that pops up in the news worthy of us talking about. But make sure you tune in Tuesday. I'll be streaming live on an exclusive one-on-one interview with the Senior Vice President of Media for the Washington football team, Junie Donaldson. I'm still waiting to get that confirmation on the time. I should be hearing back today. I'm going to post and promote for it when I get the official word, but it's looking like it's going to be probably in the 8 o'clock hour. I'm not going to put it out there until I get everything confirmed, so should have it out there by today, tomorrow at the latest to confirm, but make sure you tune in. Streaming live on YouTube and Periscope. You can follow me at Carol Porter III. That's with 3 I's, not the number 3. You can check out all of our live streams, highlight videos I put together. Did a video for Ryan Kerrigan winning Defensive Player of the Week and breaking the all-time franchise record for the Washington football team in sacks. But make sure you check us out, sportsothp.com, YouTube channel. Just go to the website. All the links on there. Got the fresh Sports OTHP apparel. Partnered up with our folks, Eric Kusa. Shout out to his side. We got some things coming, some hats, some fall apparel, sweatsuits and stuff like that. So be on the lookout. Got some things in the works that, coming that way. So, Sunday fun day. We grilling, chilling, sipping, and podcasting. This is my first stream today. I might be doing 3 today, 1 tomorrow, 1 Tuesday. Y'all gonna get tired of seeing me, but I'm gonna keep on bringing you such great content. You're gonna have no choice but to tune in. Now, if you checked out the weekly breakdown show that I did Friday, we went over the stats of both of these teams. We'll quickly go over it once again for those that didn't tune in Friday, because normally we go on Thursdays, but let's switch it up this week and went on Friday. Offensively, the Washington football team, as we all know, is ranked in the bottom of the league. And let me address this wide receiver situation that, so many fans on social media and so many of these DC social media guys are writing about needing help at wide receiver, going and trade for Allen Robinson. And, there is no threat besides Terry McLaurin. It's week 1. You saw a lot of offenses not in sync. There was no preseason. That was the first time they were going up against live competition that wasn't, their teammate that they know that was what was being called and what they were going up against. So pump your brakes. The development is going to come. It's not going to happen in 1 week, especially, Philly has a quality defense. Granted, they were getting injured and weren't the same unit towards the end of the game, but they're still quality. This week, Arizona's defense is quality. So all of those folks that's hating on Haskins and hating on the wide receiver core, man, just chill out, man. It's too early for all of that. Can't you enjoy the victory instead of want to be negative and find something to nitpick about? Come on, man. It ain't even worth all of that, man. But let's get back to this. I don't even want to go on a rant about some of these fans because that'd be another show in itself. Offensively, as I said, the Washington football team is at the bottom of the league. Last in total yards, 239. 30th in pass with 159 yards. 28th in rushing yards with 80. Points, they're actually in the top 10, tied for ninth, scoring 27 points. And third down percentage, they're actually 30th with 27.8. Arizona on the flip side, total yards, they're 6th with 404. Passing yards, 224, which is 18th. Rushing yards, 180, which is 2nd. Got to give credit to Kyler Murray. He put up 90 yards on the ground and a touchdown, I believe, on 17 carries. So, that's definitely one of my keys to victory when I get to that, my keys of victory going into this game. That's definitely containing him and keeping him in the pocket and hopefully on his back and not making highlight reel throws and runs. Points, they scored 24, which is 15th. And on third down conversions, they're 9th, going 50% on third down. Defensively, the Washington football team, showed out, about the 8 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, 2 interceptions. Only gave up 57 yards rushing, 17 points total. In yards, they were 4th, giving up 265. In passing yards, they were 10th, giving up 208. Rushing yards, as I said, 57 giving up. That was 3rd in the league. Points, 17, which was 17th in the league. And third down conversions, which is 10th in the league at 35.7, which is very impressive for the squad. If you recall all the third down issues, you saw the 3rd and 22 they gave up in the first quarter. And I know I was like, oh boy, if they're giving up these, it's going to be a long game because, you can't be giving up 3rd and 22s. But to actually be at 35%, that's a great start for this team, especially where we've seen those numbers be bottom of the league for the last couple of years. On the flip side, Arizona, 16th in yards given up with 366. Pass yards, they gave up 249, which was 243. I'm sorry, which was 19th. Rushing yards, they gave up 123, which was 17th. Points, they gave up 20, which is 10th in the league. And third down conversions, they're number 1 in the league at 18.2%. So the Washington football team is going to have their hands full with this defense, and hopefully they'll get some, support from the running game. Scott Turner, for the most part, I was okay with his play calling. I feel like sometimes he got a little too fancy on 3rd and 2, lining up in shotgun. Sometimes you just got to run the ball. I mean, Barber only had a 1.7 yard average, granted, but sometimes, when it's 3rd and 2, you don't always need to line up in shotgun and, do quick plays and misdirect. Sometimes you got to line up and just run the ball. So I'm hoping they do a little bit more of that this week. My X factor of the game, I believe, is going to be Antonio Gibson. He didn't really get going last week. Like I said, Philly has a good quality front. They were able to bottle him up. And when he did get a couple opportunities, he had a 20-yard, long run. But for the most part, they bottled him up. Haskins was a little shaky at some of the plays going to him. So, I mean, I feel like they had a little, first quarter jitters going out there, first quarter and most of the second quarter. But once things got to going, defense forced some turnovers, gave them a short field, gave the offense some life, and, they put up 27 points in the first game of the season, which is another feather in their cap. How long have we complained about them averaging 17 points, could never break over 20, and they get 27 the first week with no preseason, and so-called the wide receiver core sucking. But the Eagles have a quality defense, as they always do. So you got to give some credit to the other teams sometimes. I forgot to get the inactives list. I was slipping. I was doing so much before the show. I totally forgot to get the inactives list. I'm going to see if I can pull it up, or if Robbie's still checking it out, if he can shoot me the inactives real quick. I know he always on it. He can probably send it to me real quick. I can get that out. But I guess I'll go ahead and go into the keys of victory for this game. Normally I have 5. Sometimes I have less. I'm gonna go with 5 this week. Number one, as last week, with Dwayne Haskins having a clean, no turnovers. No turnovers is the key to this game. You can't give Arizona more opportunities to score with the potent offense. They got, D Hopkins on the outside. He had like what 14 targets and 10 catches. No, 14 catches, 16 targets for 151 yards. You still got Larry Fitzgerald, the first ballot Hall of Famer. You know he's going in first ballot. Just still hasn't been able to get that Super Bowl ring, but he's still out there doing it. Kyler Murray is elusive. They have a young but talented offensive line, and they have a young and talented defense. So you can't afford to turn the ball over. It's going to be very key.
Real quickly, what did you want me to look up? Sorry, I missed that.
The inactives list. I forgot to pull it up. It should be out by now. I know that Thomas Davis was ruled out. I think Kendall Fuller was ruled out. I think Cam Sims got elevated to the roster. But I know there's a couple of other moves that was made right before. So just get the inactives list. You can just chime in real quick if you get it, or you can just shoot it to me, and I can run it down after I go through my keys of victory.
I don't see it yet, but I'm looking. What website do you usually go to get them?
You can check the WashingtonFootballTeam.com, or you can check NFL.com. They normally have them up. Or you might be able to check Twitter with John Keim. Normally he posts them quick. I normally get them from them, and then that's how I post it. But I was doing so much technical stuff, I forgot to do the inactives. But I mentioned a couple already, so I know Robbie could probably figure them out, because normally they have it 15.
I just got it.
Bet. Well, you want to go ahead and run through those real quick?
Sure thing. All right, so we got Alex Smith, Kendall Fuller, Bryce Love, Cole Holcomb, David Sharp, Shadiq Charles. Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know.
Yeah, that's the tackle. Oh wow, I was hearing that he was making strides in progress, because they weren't really happy with Christian's first quarter and second quarter performance, but he said he played better. They said Shadiq Charles was giving him a push for the left tackle spot with him being inactive. That's saying something about Christian. Must have had a good week of practice this week.
Yeah, and so David Sharp too. So it's 2 tackles. And Isaiah Wright also the wide receiver position. And then I have the Cardinal ones. Do you want me to go through that too?
Sure, you can run down those real quick.
Sure. Cardinals have Enzo Benjamin, a running back, Mason Cole, an offensive lineman, Leaky Futu, I don't know, defensive line, Brett Hundley is a quarterback, Josh Miles is an offensive lineman, and Max Williams is the tight end.
All right, appreciate that.
Yeah, I'll stay on the air. I'll just be that ghost behind the way. If you
Hey
want.
man, whatever works, baby. Whatever works, man. You came through. I forgot to get the inactives. Yeah, I got it right. Then let me get back to the keys of victory. We got about 20 minutes before kickoff. Number 2, run game must take the pressure off of Haskins. They only rushed for 80 yards last week. I believe they ended up with a 2.7 yard average. They got 2 touchdowns by Peyton Barber, which definitely, helped aid in the victory. But they're definitely going to have to get more contributions from the running game. That's why I said X factor is going to be Antonio Gibson. I feel like they're going to find ways to get him the ball, either throwing it to him out the backfield or hopefully some misdirection plays, rolling the pocket for Haskins. That's one thing I did have another concern about with Turner. We see how comfortable he is rolling the pocket and how comfortable he is throwing on the move when he rolls the pocket. But we only saw that like 2 or 3 times in the game last week, so I'm hoping they incorporate that more, along with running the ball. Like I said, 3rd and 2, throwing the ball. Sometimes you just got to run the ball, man. Number 3, got to protect Haskins. He got up 3 sacks last week, had some pressures, had a couple of passes that could have been intercepted. He was overthrown, which we know when he does that, he doesn't step into his throws and his footwork and his mechanics. That's when it fails him, when sometimes he gets rushed, and that's when the ball sails on him and when he has those costly interceptions. Luckily, we didn't have that problem last week. Hopefully, we can continue that trend and maybe give up, 1 or 2 sacks instead of 3. If none, if they can keep them clean, why not? Number 4, D-line has to dominate again like it did last week. They're going to have to harass Kyler Murray. He's the smaller guy, so going to have to keep him in the pocket. Don't let him break the pocket. Make it hard for him to see, his targets, and get pressure up the middle. Ioannidis, Allen, and Payne, did some work last weekend. And Arizona offensive line is good, but I feel like our defensive line should be able to wear them down and get to it, just like they did last week. Not saying just because of injuries, but because they're that talented. And number 5, before I swing back to Robbie real quick, special teams has to play solid. Excuse me. Last week, they didn't have any issues. Hopkins went 3 for 4 for field goals, hit all his extra points. But let's get a big play from the special teams. You got Sims back there. We got some talent that they've drafted. We know it's only the second week, but let's get a big play on special teams this week. I'd love to see a punt return, not necessarily for touchdown, but a nice 20, 30, 40-yard punt return to flip field position to help the offense is always a good thing. We saw the defense do it last week several times. Let's see if the special teams can help out the offense too to try to get them going. Robbie, you got any questions from anybody on the Facebook or anything you want to add before we wrap up this first pregame of the NFL Week 2 season?
Yeah, sounds good. Just wanted to point out a couple of things. A couple people were tuning in live. We got a bunch of people watching actually right now, so thanks for everyone for tuning in. And the other thing was, Sith said if the run game can get rolling, we'll be fine today. So he really believes that the running game for the Washington football team will make a big difference. And Cindy Turner said, good afternoon from the Shenandoah Valley in Virginia, HTTR. So, yeah, hail to the Redskins, Washington football team, whatever you want to call them. As long as you're rooting for them, I'm with you. I understand some people have a problem with the name, but
we're not even going to touch that. We're not even. I'm going to touch. The only reason I'll say this: if the Washington football team wins today, and I go on social media and see some folks talking about it, that they can't be happy for this team being 2-0 and they still talking about the name, I'm going to have to go in on a post game if I do a post game. Well, I'm going in tomorrow on Sports on the Hill. I just have to.
Just be happy that they're winning. Don't worry
exactly.
About what right?
They would rain on their own parade if they could, man.
And I just wanted to give maybe a couple of quick scoring updates in the first couple of games that are happening right now, especially with some division rivals.
Sure, go right. Yeah, I saw some interesting scores before I went on there, so let's give us an update.
Yeah, so we just got about 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and the Bears just got a field goal, so they're actually they just missed the field goal, and they're only up 17-13, so the Giants, I guess, will get the ball back on their own 40-yard line. So it looks like it was a long field goal, but it still obviously would have been big because it would have made it a 7-point game. Right now it's only a 4-point game, but the Giants need to score a touchdown in that one to come back. The Cowboys have come back and make it a little bit closer, but the Falcons are still up 36-24. There's still 11:28 left in that game, so
oh wow,
over.
That's a lot of time left in that game.
Yeah, the Falcons have the ball, and Dallas is 24 though, so they may add some points to that.
Yeah, they need to. If not, they sound like they're in trouble.
Yeah, sounds good. And then the Rams, they are crushing the Eagles right now. They're up 31-19. Have the ball on the Philadelphia 31. 4 minutes left in that game. A couple other things. Steelers just fumbled the ball. They're up 26-14 over the Broncos. Buccaneers, Panthers is close, 21-14, but the Buccaneers are on Carolina 17 right now. 49ers on the first play of the game the first drive, on the first play of that drive, they scored an 80-yard rushing touchdown. It's like the fastest I've ever seen someone score if it wasn't the opening touchdown run back, right? And so they're up 31-6 over the Jets in that game. Bills are up over the Dolphins 17-13. That one's really close. Titans-Jaguars is tied at 30. And Packers are up over the Lions 42-21. So those are most of the games, I think, that are being played right now. But yeah, so little updates right now. all the other teams in the division seem to be losing. So hopefully that continues, and hopefully the Washington football team gets another big victory today.
No doubt, no doubt. I was checking my fantasy football numbers. I picked up Ben Roethlisberger. He had a decent game so far, except for that interception. He got me 17 points. Christian McCaffrey got 2 touchdowns. He got me 20 points. Uh, Smith Schuster hasn't really done too much in the Pittsburgh game. I was hoping to get a couple touchdowns to him and get it a double dip with Ben and him. And the Tennessee defense has let me down. They're -2, giving up 30 points to Jacksonville and that Jay Gruden offense. I'm kind of disgusted right now about that. They costing me points in my fantasy football. It's already going to be a tough week for me. But give a quick position.
You're doing much better than me, I think. In oh no, did you not? Wait, hold on. What's your picks for Pick'em?
The only game I'm missing on this one was the what game was it? It was 2 games that caught me.
The Vikings and Colts, I think, is one of them.
Yeah, I think the Vikings and Colts.
And I think other than that, I think they're all going well for you.
Yeah, it's one more.
Jaguars and Titans are tied, so I mean, I guess it's not going.
Yeah, the Titans. Yeah, because I lost I took the Bengals on Thursday, and I
forgot to do it.
I actually chose the Dallas Cowboys to win this week.
Ooh, yeah,
I always regret choosing them to win, and when they do, I'm like, but when they lose and I pick them to win, I'm like, man, I should have just went with my gut.
No, see, I always use Hurts's thing here as a way to jinx as many of our rivals as possible. So I will bet for them every time and hope that I lose.
Oh boy, just got some breaking news coming in. In the Giants game you were talking about, Barkley went out with a knee injury. Just got a report. Adam Schefter said it might be a torn ACL, might be done for the season. Just got that breaking through on my phone just now. So, fantasy football guys, yeah, I know y'all gonna be dropping him pretty quick. And Giants fans, sorry,
something
man.
About the 49ers game, did Garoppolo get hurt or something like
They
that?
They lost the running back. They scored the 80-yard touchdown and Garoppolo. I'm not sure what happened. I just saw the update during the halftime of the Steelers game I was watching. I was watching Big Ben trying to put some points on the board for my fantasy squad.
Also the only game that we have during the 1 o'clock hour, since we have both the Ravens and the Washington football team starting soon.
Yeah, so we got about 10 minutes till kickoff. I'm about to start streaming the game in a little while. Just to run down the stats of the quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers. Haskins, 17 for 31, 178 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, 82.5 quarterback rating. Kyler Murray, 26 for 40, 230 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, a 78.1 quarterback rating. Peyton Barber, 17 carries, 29 yards, 1.7 yard carry average with 2 touchdowns. Kenyon Drake for the Cardinals, 16 carries, 60 yards, 3.7 yard average with a touchdown. For the Washington football team wide receivers, Terry McLaurin, 5 catches, 61 yards with a 12.2 yard average. As I mentioned earlier, DeAndre Hopkins, 14 catches, 151 yards for a 10.79 yard average. Total defense, the Washington football team is ranked 4th. Arizona is ranked 16th. Total offense, the Washington football team is ranked 32nd, and Arizona is ranked 7th. I give the edge on offense to Arizona. I give the edge to the Washington football team in defense. Special teams is a flip. That's why I was saying I was hoping special teams could make a play this week to help aid the offense and help push it over the top. And when it comes to coaching between Ron Rivera and Cliff Kingsbury, I'm going to go with Ron Rivera every time. So I'm predicting a Washington football team victory, not giving a score. I'm just saying they're going to shock the world and win 2 weeks in a row and start out 2-0. What about you, Rob, before we get out of here?
I'm always the eternal pessimist, right? So I thought we were going to lose week 1. So I'm happy to be proven wrong. I will continue to probably bet against us in this one, just because I think it's a difficult team. It's going to be a much harder team to face than week 1, in my opinion. Their offensive line isn't quite as decimated, and I think that they've got a better offense right now. They're just kind of clicking, especially with how they played last week. But I mean, it's football. Who knows? Any given Sunday, I mean, the Washington football team is clearly good enough to win, but if I'm going to make a bet right now, I'm going to bet that they lose a close one, maybe by a touchdown or a field goal. Not too much. I think it'll be good.
All right, I can take that. I think it's going to be a good game. Like I said, hopefully the Washington football team comes out on top. Stay tuned. Might be a post-game show, might not. If not, tune in to At the Bar Radio. I'll probably break down a little bit of the game during the show. You can check it out. I'll be streaming live on YouTube and Periscope once again. 151 to be streaming on his YouTube channel, At the Bar Podcast, and his Facebook pages. I'll be out of jail on Tuesday, thank goodness. So I'll be streaming live again next week from Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and whatever else I can get my hands on. For SportsOTHP, True Radio Network pregame, Robbie and myself, y'all have a great football game, and maybe I'll see y'all later. But if not, talk to you tomorrow. Y'all have a good night, and hail to the Washington football team.